good day. It's a good day. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. It's a good day. It's a good day. I can see clearly now. The rain has gone away. Gone is that thick black cloud that used to mess up my day. No more sitting around having pity party all day. Just like 2 + 2 = 4. I am here to stay. It's so good to me. It's a good day. It's a good day. Now I can dream a dream that never, ever fades. You touch my heart. I put my trust in you. Now I'm not afraid. You touch my heart. I see color.
Are we on? I guess we're on now. It's a good day. It's a good day. And you know, my new thing is that it's a good day in Detroit. And let me tell you why it's a good day. Because when we look around and see that we love our neighbors as we love ourselves, that's a good day. Our show today shows you just how much people are still yet loving Detroit, wanting the best for Detroit, making it better for Detroit. Let me say before we go into our program, I'd like to say thank you to my committee that are putting together a tribute for me November the 3rd. To you out there that like to be a part of the tribute, all the entertainers, musicians of Detroit decided to celebrate me, and I'm just so humbled by it all. Thank you, God. So if you'd like to join us on that day, because in one more week, we got one more week before we shut down for ticket sales. Call 313-821-3612. 313-821-3612. Excuse me. And then I'd like to say thank you to the committee that did the Conyers celebration yesterday, spearheaded by Reverend Jim Howley. Great turnout, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. So enjoyed everything. Excuse me, someone bring me some water, please. So we'd like to say that Detroit is still yet alive, still got things to do, still yet prospering, still yet loving each other. In spite of what people may say or think about us, we are still on the map. They're still looking at us, and we're wondering, I don't know about you, but I'm wondering what they're going to do with all that money that they sent in from the government. Is it going to go into the neighborhoods, or where is it going to go? I would love for it to go into the neighborhoods. You know, we got plenty downtown going on. Now it's time for the neighborhood to prosper from whatever they're going to do. Now, for those of you that love us out there and want to say hello, want to say something about the guests and asking them questions, give us a call, 313-868-4336, 313-868-4336, or you can look at the bottom of the screen, and the numbers are always there for you to call. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah, 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 yeah. 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 Hey, hey, hey. It's a good day. It's a good day. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, hey, hey. It's a good day. Gone is that thick black cloud that used to mess up my day. No more sitting around having pity party all day. Just like 2 + 2 = 4. I am here to stay. It's so good to me.
It's a good day. And it's a good day because any day above ground is better than none at all. So I don't know about you, but I'm celebrating being above and not beneath. Hallelujah. Now, it's a good day in Detroit when we love on one another. And my first guest has been loving on Detroit for a while. A young person that has been a community activist and doing some marvelous and great things. Another one of my godchildren, I'm so excited and so proud of her. She's doing some wonderful things, and her name is Tiffany Tilley. Hey, Tiffany.
Hi.
How are you?
I am good, and I'm so happy to be here. And let me say, I will be getting a ticket today.
Okay.
And I will be in the house for your celebration. I am
Thank
so
you.
happy.
Is your dad coming?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
But I will definitely be there.
All right.
Yes.
Very good. So now, Tiffany, community activist, that is something that is a part of, that's your ministry, really.
Yes.
So let us know some of the things you've already done in the community. And you've been doing it how many years?
I have been doing this over 10 years now, over a decade.
Okay, I started to say 10. I thought it was about 10.
Yes.
To be so young,
Yeah. God
how
is
did you get
good.
involved?
I was working at the Election Commission for the city of Detroit.
Okay.
And I started getting involved with different projects as well as things on my own. In the neighborhood where I was living in, my grandparents' neighborhood, it was so much violence.
Okay.
My cousin got murdered 2 blocks from where I was living, Manny, and I started the Manny Project.
Okay.
And Manny, the project stood for many a neighborhood needing impacts every day. And that's definitely what we need to do. And so I did several Stop the Violence rallies, major.
I remember one of them in that Cass Park. Is it Cass Park?
Cass Park, yes. You came and you sung
Right.
beautifully for us. And thank you so much for always supporting, definitely.
Have to be there to support.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 2 were at the African American Museum. When I started out, I didn't know anything about events. I didn't know anything about community organizing. So, people sit back and complain about things. You can always get up and do something. We started out with our first event with 75
Say that again. You
people.
can always.
You can always get up and do something.
Because people always say, well, I don't know what I can do.
You can always do something. I
Now,
don't care if it's making
talking
phone
about
calls.
starting community activism at a young age,
Yeah.
where are our young people right now in terms of doing that same thing?
Our young people, I think, are discouraged. I do teach, so I work with a lot of children. I'm starting a new position this week at Joyland Achievement Center on 6 Mile. So
Which is?
It's a daycare center, but they have after-school programs, goes up to 12, summer programs. So glad to be a part of that.
Now,
I
where
love
is
to
this?
cultivate minds. It's on McNichols and Southfield, Joyland Achievement Center.
All right.
So as I work with kids, I've worked in over 15 schools as a substitute teacher. I've worked with thousands of kids. I've created my own program. I've written books. I wrote a self-help book. I think our children are lost. I think they are discouraged. I think they need encouragement. I think they need discipline. I think we need to get back to community where everybody
And I'm going to say, I
pitched
think
in
they
and worked
need
together.
Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
Some of them need the Lord.
You cannot
And
get
even
enough.
in the church.
Amen.
I really was proud of one of my godchildren yesterday, Eric Alexander, who went to minister on Wyoming. I can't say the name of the church right now because it does not come to me, but he ministered to the young people and had them come up and get prayer and get anointed, and said to the parents, it is important that we grab them in this church now, because if you don't grab them in the church, they're going to grab them in the world.
Yes.
So it's very important that we keep God first and that we make sure because I was worrying at one time, and sometime I guess in the back of my mind, I think about where is our next generation church? You know, where is it? Where are they? Where is it coming from, or when are they coming?
Yes.
You know, now one of the things that you've done over the years, even being a mom, is that you brought your babies right along with you.
Yes, definitely. I take my kids when I'm doing community activism. We've marched when they hung nooses at CMU. I took my children up there. I went down to Gina, Louisiana when they hung nooses there. And I keep my kids aware of what's going on. They watch the news. They keep themselves abreast. When I go to vote, I take my children to the polling location because I think that it should be a part of their everyday life that, you know, voting, community activism is not something you just wait until somebody gets 18 and then hand them a card and say, go vote. This should be something that's normal, a normal process. I got a chance to study abroad this year. I'm working on my MBA
And
at
where did
U of
you go?
B. And I went to Brazil, and I went to
Ooh,
China.
nice.
And in Brazil, I learned that voting is not an option; it's mandatory. If you do not vote, if you do not vote, you have to go before a judge. You have to face penalties.
Wouldn't we
fines.
love that?
Yes. Do community volunteering, and if you continue on that path, you may even lose your passport. So you have to vote.
Okay.
So, and it's so important, and that's something that we really need to get into.
One of the things that you've done, I've noticed also with your children and doing the community activism, you've still made sure that they knew God was first in their life.
Yes, definitely.
And that is so important that we do that.
Definitely, and that was started and embedded from small babies, you know, teaching them about God, praying. That's something, you know, that's something.
So where you get all this wisdom from to do these things, girl?
My elders.
Okay.
My elders.
When you say your elders, you mean like grandma, granddaddy, or some elders in the community?
All of that.
Okay.
Grandparents.
It's taking the village.
And that's what I was saying about going back. Our children, we cannot be afraid to speak to them. There was a time when elders continuously passed back information. When you see a child doing something wrong, a teenager doing something wrong, you cannot be afraid to speak. You have a voice. You need to use it.
And the key word is afraid, because that's why a lot of them don't say anything to young people, because they're afraid of what they might want to shoot them. They might want to cuss them out. I mean, it's a whole litany of things that they might want to do. So therefore, we don't say anything.
And they listen more than you think, though.
Okay.
By me teaching and working with kids, they listen more than you think. Sometimes you have to pull them aside, talk to them, just reach out to them. But they need to hear because information is passed on. And if we don't pass the information backwards, then people won't know.
That's like when I went to see the storytellers, the Twisted Sisters, at the museum. It was my first time seeing the storytelling done like that, and it was marvelous. But if we don't tell our own story, then we won't know the story. We won't know our history, and that's what's wrong with a lot of our young people. They don't know that they come from royalty. They don't know that they come from people that are very proud people, proud black African-American people. It's not people that have been downtrodden, and they were downtrodden, but they got back up.
Yes.
You know, and they need to know that so that they know that they can stand the same way.
Yes. And it's so important to expose our children to things. And even things you might not think that they're ready for, or things that they wouldn't normally do, it's okay. They need to be exposed. My son got upset with me about a year ago, and he complained to his principal, and his principal went off on him. But he was upset. Why do you have me going to all of these things? I want to do things that kids want to do, and why don't you take me to Cedar Point of things? You take me around Congress people and different things. But I know that when he gets older, he'll understand, and his mind is expanded. My daughter's mind, their minds are expanded because they do have those opportunities. And as much as I can, I try to expose as many children to different things. I used to give out tickets. I would get tickets from the DSO and Tigers games and give them out to families who normally would not have the opportunity to expose their children to things like that.
Now, wearing all these hats that you wear, is there one hat that you like to wear the most?
I would love to get my PhD after I'm finished with graduate school and education. education is key.
Okay.
I love cultivating minds. I love sharing information.
So have you thought about starting your own institute?
No, not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
So that's a serious undertaking.
It is very.
But a lot of times when people that have been in education like such as you have, when they've seen all the things and stood out and looked at everything, then they can go in and do their own thing.
Yes.
You know, and really do it like it's supposed to be done for young people.
Yes.
And give them what they actually need.
With Joyland, I am teaching and I am helping with operations, so I will get a chance to really do some of those things.
Okay.
I'm really excited about that.
So now you're getting your PhD in education, or what?
I'm working on my MBA in international business,
Okay.
and then I would like to go on to get my PhD. Yes.
So now, how did you get into the international business? What made you go to that route?
I have an undergraduate business degree. I
Oh,
love
okay.
business. As a community activist, I felt like if I had money,
Mhm.
I could make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
A bigger difference
Mhm.
than what I'm doing. So
Okay.
I kind of wanted to change the route of where I was going
Mhm.
so that I can make a bigger impact. And I can teach as well. I can help people become entrepreneurs.
And also, you can get the dollars that you need
Exactly.
to put back into the activism or back into the community.
Exactly.
Because that is so important that we share in our community. That's one thing I love about bringing people on the program that actually help our community. They don't just care about me, myself, and I. That you
Yes.
actually care about others.
Yes.
And that you do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And I think I remember the word saying, love your neighbors as you love yourself. The challenge is that many people don't love themselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. And if they can't love themselves, they can't love
No, you can't love anybody.
else.
Right. That is so true.
Yes.
So where do you see our next generation going as you work with all these young people?
I see a lot of people moving more towards becoming educated. I do see a lot of
That
children.
is wonderful to hear.
I do. I think we are becoming more educated in the U.S. than ever before, but I do see a lot of children that are being lost in the
Now,
gap.
as you say, we're being educated more than ever before. Then we got those situations like with Snyder and the EAA, the FFA, all those
Yes.
things that are coming on board to
Yes.
shut us down.
Yes, definitely.
So, you know, I'm looking at that and wondering.
And we have a lot of issues, not just in Michigan, but with education in the U.S.
Mhm.
And we are behind.
Especially with people of color,
Yes.
with us's.
Yes. And we are behind in a lot of instances.
Mhm.
But as far as people going into higher ed, trying to make a better lives for themselves, I do see a
Okay.
trend towards that.
All right.
And I have had the opportunity to do a lot of research on education.
Mhm.
So it's difficult, but we need to keep on pushing. We need more
We got
people.
to. You can't stop.
Yes.
You really
Yes.
can't stop. Now, do you go out and talk to young people? Are you up for hire, so to speak? Would you come and speak at people's, church or their community activities?
Definitely. I do go out and speak. I do work with children as far as doing different sessions with them. So if
You do any tutoring?
I do a little tutoring, but
Okay.
mostly I do sessions on life skills.
Now, that is interesting. That sounds really rich to me. Life skills, giving young people life skills.
Yes.
That is
yes.
so important. That's
Eh,
something that's not put in the schools. That's not in the school.
Yes, and my book that is on Kindle, Know Thyself, A Journey to Self-Empowerment, came from working with children
Mhm.
and trying to help them, with their battles and their demons.
I hear you. Now, how do we get in touch with you?
My phone number is 313-575-7881. Again,
Say it again. Yeah.
313-575-7881.
And you're on Facebook?
I am definitely on Facebook, author Tiffany Tilley.
Okay. Do we put in author Tiffany Tilley or just Tiffany Tilley?
Author Tiffany Tilley.
Oh,
Yes.
my God. Okay. Very good. Very good. So you've authored how many books?
3.
And I'm
And
sure
I'm
that there's
still
some
working.
more.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there's some more to come.
Yes.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like for us to know about education or anything that you're doing before we leave and say move to the next guest?
Well, there is one thing I did want to say that I learned. I'm a research junkie, so going to Brazil, I learned that in the U.S. during the transatlantic slave trade, 400,000 slaves came to the U.S. 4 million went to Brazil.
Whoa,
And
okay.
they are living in impoverished conditions. When we talk about slavery, we think about it as an American thing. It's not just an American thing. This is something that was huge, and this is something that affects so many people's lives, even still today, and how we're living. And so I think that our cause, when we push, when we talk about how slavery impacted us, we shouldn't just think about you in terms of U.S. It would be a stronger argument if we included all of the areas that have been affected and how people are still affected today.
Okay. Before you leave, look in that camera and tell the people how they can be community activists and why they need to do that.
You need to do it because we need stronger communities. If you want to feel safe in your home, you cannot wait for a DPD or any other police department. You need to get up and you need to do something about what's going on in your community. You need to go to your block club or organize a block club. Reach out to your legislators, make sure that they're coming, hold them accountable if they are not coming, and even invite your police officers out to the meetings and hold them accountable if they're not coming. But don't just sit back and complain and do nothing. When it's time to vote, election time, you need to get up and vote. Before you vote, you need to research what you're voting on.
They need to research, and that means not only if it's a millage or something, research the person as well.
Yes.
Before you vote.
Yes. When I was in the community on behalf of the Wayne County Clerk talking about elections, I had people actually wanting me to tell them how to vote, and I cannot do that. But you need to research for yourself.
Because people don't want to actually study or
exactly.
check it out and see, what's with that person, what kind of baggage have they carried all these years in any job that they've been in or any position that they've had.
Yes.
So you won't find yourself saying, I don't know why we got them in office.
Exactly.
So it's important.
Yes.
Well, Tiffany, I appreciate you coming to be with me.
I
so love
you. Having me. I love you too.
And keep in touch and let us know when that next book comes because you need to come back and talk about it.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Stick around. We'll be right back. Hey, we are back, and it's still a good day. It's a good day when somebody in the community cares about you and what's happening with you, your family, and the whole community. We have such a person sitting with me today that is really interested in your health. Somebody say health. Interested in your health. And I'm going to say this, and he'll let me know if I'm saying this right. Also interested in how it's a weight loss program, but how are you losing weight? Is it good for you? Is it safe for you? I want to know, is it safe for the procedure and the practices that he's teaching? Is it good for those that are diabetic, high blood pressure? I mean, do they take all that into consideration? We're going to talk about that with our own Reverend Pastor Reverly. I love you. I got to get a hug.
You got it, baby.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Talk right into the microphone.
Yeah, I'm doing really great and so happy to be here with you.
Thank you. I'm glad you can be here. And let's open the phone lines for those of you that may have some questions to ask. 313-868-4336. 313-868-4336. And there's some more numbers at the bottom of the camera. The bottom of the screen. that you can call, because I'm sure some of you healthy people out there or want to be healthy people will want to ask a few questions. Okay, now, being a pastor and having a church, there are not too many pastors that are telling you how to eat. They're busy frying that chicken, frying that fish, eating all the things that we shouldn't eat in the church, not knowing that the Bible, my husband said the other day, do you know in the Bible it never talks about eating meat? And I said, hello. So I said, so does that mean you're ready to just be a vegetarian? He said, maybe a little bit. But I have changed my way of eating. When people look at me and they go, girl, you done taken off all this weight. How did you do it? I am not a dieter. I am an eater, so I eat accordingly. And that means I eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but I eat the right things. I don't eat like I used to in terms of wanting all this grease and all this fat and all the potatoes I can eat in the world. I used to love that kind of stuff. And still love it. I'm not going to say I don't. But at the same time, I made up my mind that I want to live and not die. So now, how did you as a pastor decide to go into the healthy way of living?
Well, it was a journey. Over 40 years ago, I stopped eating pork.
Okay.
But that was because my doctor advised me that that pork was running my pressure up.
Okay.
And I was eating really too much. So I stopped eating pork altogether 40 years ago. And then I transitioned to getting rid of the beef.
Now, how was it? Was it hard for you to stop eating the pork? Because I've heard people say, okay, I stopped eating the pork, but when I smell somebody frying some bacon or something, you know, I want to go that way. I may not go that way, but I want to go that way. It's not an easy thing to just say I quit cold turkey, is it?
Well, for me, it was very easy.
Okay.
And I think that whatever I've decided that I'm going to stop doing, I make it easy because I just be determined to do it.
Mm-hmm.
When I stopped smoking, I smoked a cigarette, threw the pack up on my dashboard, and let it ride in my car for months, and I never touched another cigarette.
Mm.
So, you know, you just have to determine that you're going to do it. If you say, I'm weak, you know, we all weak and all that, if you keep telling yourself that,
and that's what you'll be.
that's what you'll be.
Mm-hmm.
So the self-fulfilling prophecy is that if you decide that you want to stop something, you need to stop something, you need to start something, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to be around people who will encourage you and help you to do that.
Right. Now, did you see people in your church going down? That's why you said, okay, let me present this health program to them, or how did you just start this health program that you have now?
Yes.
And is there a name for it? I'm sorry.
Well, you know, we have a health forum every Monday evening,
Okay.
6:30
At the church?
At the church.
Okay.
And
tell them where the church is.
18641 Wyoming, a block and a half south of 7 Mile Road on Wyoming.
And the name
Holy
of the
Hope
church?
Heritage Church.
Holy Heritage Church.
Holy Hope Heritage.
Holy Hope Heritage Church.
Right. And my ministry has carried me over these 50-some years that I've been preaching into a lot of places and endeared me to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And I really just one day decided that if we didn't change the way we did things health-wise, there would not be too many people around.
In the church.
In the church.
Ah.
I mean, you know, it's just bad in the church because we have too many funerals.
Mm-hmm.
But the church has learned to deal with taste rather than to deal with health.
Okay.
It's what I like, you know, and you know, things that you like are always, you have to understand that it's engineered to be that way.
And is it good for you?
It's not good for you, but
Right.
it tastes good, you know.
Right.
And so we operate on the taste, and so I decided that I was having too many funerals, too many people were sick, going too many visits to the hospital, and that's really not what ministry is about. So
He's teaching us how to live, right?
How to live.
Ah.
Yeah, there's no question about it.
Amen.
Not to die, but to live.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look, the Bible is very clear about us eating meat. Genesis 1:29 is very clear that we should eat fruits and vegetables, nuts and grains.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, they shall be meat for you. And meat is not flesh.
Okay.
So you look at just right in Genesis, you could ride Genesis for a long while and see that it says that you should not eat anything with blood in it. And you can't get blood out of meat.
Mm.
No matter how you wash it, soak it, and let it stand, whatever.
Brine it and all that
You
stuff.
cannot get the blood out. It's still going to be blood in it.
Okay.
So you should not eat meat. And we should know that there's tons of research that's done how meat is very damaging to the body.
And saying that research, is that how you developed your program? Did you go study?
Yes.
Did you research as to how to present the program, or did somebody already have this program in place?
No, it's been a developing program that I kind of designed, but it took a lot from a lot of places.
Okay.
One place that I go regularly to is Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine.org.
Okay.
PCRM.org. And in that, from that site, over 7,000 medical doctors have decided to practice holistically.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you the information about stuff that you need to know. And so I've used that site for a lot of the direction that I've taken. And then I've had two great teachers. One, my personal physician, who is Dr. Ted Watkins in Washington, D.C.
Is he a medical doctor?
A medical doctor who...
and that's very rare to find a medical doctor that is a preventative doctor as well.
That's right. And in fact, Dr. Watkins, I've had him here a number of times, and he is the first one that showed me how to eat raw oatmeal.
Oh my, okay.
Yeah,
I learned how to do that from Council President Irma Henderson.
Oh, she's my girl. That was my girl too. Yeah, oh yeah.
Mother taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm. We had great conversations. She was a wise lady,
yes.
and I loved her so much. But Dr. Watkins was my first teacher, and then I met over 15 years ago Dr. James Dale.
Okay.
James Dale is a naturopath who is just a tremendous guy, and he affected my life so greatly. And I was doing at the time fish and chicken, and I thought I was doing great. And he said, Doc, chicken is the worst animal you can eat. And I said,
so much mucus that it carries.
What? But it's tied in. Chicken is a who comes from the buzzard and a guinea hen. So it's not even a legitimate creature.
Okay.
So when they put the chicken on the ground, we understand he's the buzzard of the guinea of the barnyard.
Mm-hmm.
All the stuff on the barnyard, the chicken eat. He eat anything and everything. He's worse than the hog.
Okay.
Because he's a cleanup man.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the animals that we eat, all the stuff that we eat in terms of flesh, we have to be very careful, because the Bible is clear to tell us that we should not even eat those bottom feeders. We shouldn't be eating it. And we like clam, we like crabs, we like shrimp, all the stuff that feed on the bottom. Lobster, all that stuff feed on the bottom. We shouldn't be eating it. Yeah. But we do. And it's full of mercury, and it just helps us to stay in a sick mode.
And dare we not take something out of Detroit River? Do you know how many people
die? Eat everything. I mean, the boats that go through the water dump the
oil and diesel.
The oil
and
is
all
fine, but they dump the bathrooms.
Oh my God!
The bathrooms from the hospitals all run to the water, to the ocean, and so whatever persons have in the hospitals, all that goes into the water. That's why we got to be so careful about drinking. We should want to drink good, clean water, and alkaline water, and so we sell alkaline water at the church.
Okay.
But we try to provide people with the knowledge. So if you want to do better, you can.
So now you've taken this program. Now tell me if I'm right or wrong. You've taken this program and shown people how to benefit not just physically but financially as well.
Oh yes, oh yes. And really, if you practice good health, you will save yourself a lot of money.
Okay.
I don't take any medication. I'm 72, but I don't even take an aspirin.
My husband's 73. He doesn't take anything.
Yeah, it's so important that we understand that when we mess up our bodies, then we're going to spend a fortune trying to straighten it out, trying to fix it. You know.
And that's why it's so much money when you go to the doctors now.
Yeah. Oh,
that's big money. They don't want to. That's why they don't want to change the Obamacare, any kind of care.
Well, you know, people don't even understand Obamacare. They call it.
That's
it's
true.
a negative term.
That's true.
But you know, everybody needs health care.
Oh yeah.
I have always. I just wanted to have care. That if I had to go to the hospital,
that was more holistic than it was.
Yeah, because I never have to go to the doctor. So I didn't need any medical care, but I got to have it now. Because Obama said everybody got to have it. Everybody got to have it. So I do have some now, even though I don't plan to have to go to the doctor.
Hello.
I just want the doctor to take some tests and let me know how things are coming.
Because it's always good to know, to use wisdom and know what you're supposed to be facing.
That's right.
Then I know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And deal with it. Now, how long did it take to transform the minds of the people in terms of being in the church? Because, you know, like I said, all we ever knew was frying that chicken in the kitchen and sitting in the choir stand smelling and going, "Woo, I can't wait to get out this choir. I can't wait to get out this seat."
Yeah.
To go down and get me the chicken sandwich.
Get a sandwich, yeah. Well, you know, that transition is still in process.
Okay.
Even with my people, many leave. They don't, you know, because they don't want to hear about food. They don't want to hear about what they shouldn't do. And of course, I have to learn to. I want it so badly for people to just embrace it and get well, because I'm just tired of going to the hospitals and going to funerals. I'm really tired of it. And I know that it's all preventable. Everybody with diabetes, anybody with diabetes listening, looking at us today, just let me tell you, you don't have to have diabetes. You can get rid of diabetes. And but you claim it, my diabetes. You know, I got my machine, I take my blood sugar every day. You know, why you do that? I don't like sticking myself. You know, I don't want that at all. So my blood sugar is cool because I don't eat the stuff that makes it bad. Okay. So if you eat better, drink plenty of water, and eat better, and you have to cut out stuff that is just bad for you, and all white stuff. Anything white that you eat is bad for you. Anything white. So
that made me think about my goddaughter, who's she's vegetarian, and we went to a vegetarian restaurant around here. I won't say the name. And when they had the desserts come about, she asked them, did they use something from the bone? It's like a sugar that you get from the bone, from marrow or something like that.
Marrow,
And they said yes, and she said, well, how can you be a vegetarian restaurant? You can't be. And I was like, she can start something up in here, you know, because she's very a stickler about reading everything and making sure it is according to what she's supposed to do or not do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there are some people who are dedicated and committed to helping people to eat better and to live better in our communities. I'm very excited about joining forces with everybody who does that. In my case, I know that not many churches are involved at this level.
Oh, no.
And I try to get everyone to have a health ministry and just let the people who want to do it have something that they can gravitate toward and that they can get better with.
One of the things I think that may have helped change some of the people's mind that you have to bring to the table is this weight loss program. Tell us about that.
Well, Ann Deweese is a scientist, a doctor who's a scientist, done a lot of research, and she has come up with fat-burning tea and coffee. And the Food and Drug Administration has just sanctioned it. I mean, they just
Oh
couldn't-
my.
It's the only, it's a product of its kind that's been
Mhm.
sanctioned by them.
Okay.
She gave them so much research, so many studies, so much data that they couldn't do anything but to just pass it. So
Okay.
this drinking this coffee and tea will take the weight off.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
yeah. So
I'm sure people out there are interested in that.
yeah, if they
Yeah.
it's
Because many people want to take off weight.
right.
They just
right.
don't, Now, using this tea and this coffee,
Mhm.
is it okay for those that are diabetic?
Oh yes.
For those that are on dialysis?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
It is friendly for every source that you can think of, and I'm so the tea is so wonderful. You don't have to add anything. Just you use it with cold water. You put it in
Mhm.
cold water. The coffee you steep it, like you do coffee because
Mhm.
it comes in little packages. But again, they have special sweetener and the cream that go with it because it's not really cream. We
Oh,
don't-
okay.
milk and cream and all that's not good for you either.
So when they sell it, it all comes in the package.
Come in a package.
Everything is in there.
Everything's in the package.
Okay.
It's called Boracia, and the Boracia product is excellent. We have it at our church, and every Monday night, a person can come by. In fact, they're going to be signing up for the weight loss program, the Biggest Loser kind of thing.
Hmm.
People who are interested in losing weight come by, and we have not just the weight loss tea and coffee, but we have other things that will help you to lose weight, healthy.
Okay.
And we also provide diets, which are not. I don't like to call them diets, but we do. I think it's a lifestyle change that we ultimately must make.
A health,
so that we
healthy
eat
program.
That's right. We've got to do that.
Mhm.
And we have the alkaline water that we serve, and so you just need to come by Holy Hope, and I don't preach all the time about eating good, but that's at the bottom of my whole agenda because and I like to see us more live to be 120, which is what
Okay.
God said.
Mhm.
See, God didn't tell you about 70. That ain't God talk.
Ah!
That's in the Bible, but it ain't God talk. There's
All
a
right.
difference between God talk and what man talk. So
All right.
God said you should live to be 120. Just go to Genesis 6:3.
Okay.
That tell you about how long you should live. So we should be around here a long time.
All
We get to
right.
get 70 years old talking about I live my time and I'm ready.
No.
You ain't even halfway there.
No.
So let's
How does
let's
one
change.
call to find out about your program? What's the number they can call?
313-861-5005.
Say it
Or-
again.
861-5005. Or they can call Miss Jean,
Mhm.
617-6260. She is.
And do you have a website?
Well, it's not up right now. We get to take it down to do some revamping.
Okay.
So we'll have that going in short order, so people can look it up
And are you on Facebook? See, I know Miss Jean is on Facebook, but I
yeah,
don't know.
Holy Hope is on Facebook, and
Okay.
I don't do Facebook and tweeting and all that. I really don't have. I try to do that for
So
a
they don't have
minute.
the time.
Yeah,
huh?
it's too time consuming for me. But
Right.
I have some people in my church. They do it and they keep mine up to date, and
Mhm.
they try to anyway. But you can just call me on my phone.
All righty.
378-1641, and we can talk about anytime you want to get healthy. We can talk about that. Am I
Well,
right?
I want to have you back to talk about the alkaline water
All right.
because everybody's talking about that water now, and I want to see what that really means.
Mhm.
Ran into a young lady somewhere vending, and she at a wedding of all places.
Right.
She was vending, and she had alkaline water, but she delivers as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't deliver.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to know more about the alkaline water and some other health challenges as well. And I'd love for you to come back again with us. Can you do that?
Oh, yes,
Maybe next
yes.
month?
Well, anytime you call
Be
me, I
our
told
health
you that.
guru?
Yeah, anytime you call me, I'll be there. There's no doubt.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming to be with me and spending this time with me.
All right. all
I
right.
love you.
Love you too.
Don't go away. We got one more guest. We'll be right back. Hey, hey, it is still a good day. We're still loving our community. We're still giving. We're still caring. And we're still sharing. Like to have you meet the young lady that's sitting with me today who has been doing such a great gifting and caring to the women in our community, especially women that are abused, showing them how, and I say this, and she can correct me, I say that she shows them how to recreate themselves spiritually and financially. Because, you know, many women don't leave a situation of abuse because they feel like, I can't afford it. I can't take care of myself. Well, she has a program designed that shows you how to do all those things. And it has been such a good program. She has been recognized by the vice president, I say the president, which is the same thing as Vice President Biden or Obama, who has said to Essence Magazine, put her in the magazine, congratulate her, make a tribute to her. And we've had her on before, but I'm just honored to be sitting with this woman of God. I got to call her that because she does such a marvelous ministry with her organization called SAFE. She makes you feel like you're safe and not have to worry about, is somebody going to get me? Somebody going to be there to hurt me? I mean, she's done some marvelous work. We welcome again to the program Miss Kaylin Risker. How are you?
I am great. I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Looking beautiful.
Tyou.
So how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm
and
good.
Tell us about SAFE and what those acronyms stand for.
SAFE is Sisters Acquiring Financial Empowerment.
Okay. And you thought of this. What made you think of this?
Well, how it came about, I am a survivor of domestic violence.
Okay.
And from my own personal experience as well as my professional experience as a human resource administrator, where I saw many women on the workplace and I saw how domestic violence affected them. So it was from my personal experience and my professional experience, but mostly divine intervention. I started this organization in 2006.
Okay. Now, do you have a facility or do you just have different meetings, different places?
Well, we currently have an office space.
Okay.
We currently have space, which is a good thing, but we still continue to have outreach because we found that to be very effective with transportation issues.
Okay.
So our current location is in the Midtown area, which is centrally located for people to come to us.
One of the things that a lot of people don't get involved with that kind of a situation because they are fearful of someone knowing who they are, someone maybe leaking where they are. But you have been able to design a program where people don't really know what's going on with your clients.
Well, as far as them coming for us for services, correct? That is correct. We don't provide shelter, but we do help them to create a safety plan so that while they're trying to navigate the systems and trying to, rebuild their own personal finances and financial standing, that they can keep themselves and their earnings safe. So we help them with, how do you seek work if you're being stalked? How do you save your money to be able to move somewhere? How do you learn how to budget if you've never, had control of the family finances? So how do you kind of start on your feet financially and recover from what is called economic abuse within domestic violence?
Now, in this economic abuse climate, I'm going to say, has your business grown more or are you about the same?
It is definitely, we've definitely seen more need. It's actually an overwhelming need because we're dealing with women who are, marginalized, who've been oppressed, who've been abused. And so they're already coming with a deficit. They may have had short work histories, no work history at all. Now they're seeking work. Now they're trying to get on their feet so that they could take care perhaps their children or themselves or have their own space. And for someone who's been economically abused, coupled with emotional abuse or physical abuse, you may not always present yourself as the most viable candidate in those type of situations, because of that kind of abusive programming over time. You perhaps have begun to believe that you're stupid and ugly and lazy and nobody wants you. And so you're not presenting yourself in the best light during an interview. So that's the type of thing that we work with is, rebuilding those skills so that you can be more competitive out there because it's a highly competitive market. So if you have to be on top of your game to be able to qualify and access employment and other financial resources.
One of the things that a lot of people don't want to look at, and I don't know if you've had this venture, is that in the church, how women are abused, and they sit on the pews from Sunday to Sunday hurting and in pain, and nobody's really recognized that they're going through as well.
Actually, there are quite a few churches that are stepping up to recognize that that
Okay.
is a problem, and
Okay.
they come to the table of the different domestic violence coalitions and task force, and we work with them. And I often get calls from churches to speak.
Okay.
So I'm glad that that's starting because that definitely is a problem. It's actually a
Because
problem in
you know,
any
a lot of times we
community.
want to think, you know, we're such Christians until we don't have problems. Not knowing that that same sister